Madam Deputy Speaker, and because it's a pleasure to follow the Honourable Lady, but in reflecting some of the maiden speeches that we've heard this afternoon, can I just comment on the Honourable Member for Yeovil and his reference to Titanic, just to add to the analogy that he likes to share. As the Member of Parliament for Belfast East, we always remind folks that Titanic was built by Ulstermen but navigated by Englishmen. Madam Deputy Speaker, I do wish him well. Madam Deputy Speaker, I had hoped that in delaying my contribution in this debate to today, we may have reached a point where there would be perhaps less politics and a bit more accurate reflection on the challenges that we face as a country and how we proceed. And I am pleased that the Chief Secretary of the Treasury is here, because he is a man of substance and he understands the challenges that we all face. I think one of the most accurate portrayals of the budget thus far has been that of a sugar rush. Something that will make you feel good immediately, something that will see an initial injection of cash into our public services over the forthcoming number of years, but they peter out. The benefit of that sugar rush peters out. You hit a low. You will crave more in years 3 and 4, and yet without sufficient growth, the means will not be there to pay for it. And I say that not with any glee, but as a genuine challenge as to how we fund public services and how we put the investment rightly in public services, but in a way in which will produce private growth, because it will be that private growth that allows the future investment in years to come. The Chief Secretary will know that from a Northern Ireland perspective, there has not been a resolution to getting our finances into a firm foundation. Fixing the foundations is what we hear from government, and the negotiations we had with the previous government saw an injection of cash which was considerable. But in attaining pay parity, and knowing that today is about health, when we think of all the NHS workers in Northern Ireland, the nurses and the doctors and the auxiliary staff and the carers outside in the social care setting, who are not paid like for like to their colleagues in England or Scotland or Wales. We attained the money to get pay parity just 1 year ago, and yet it's in danger of being broken. And money that we secured for Northern Ireland that was about stability, we were told by the previous government, we'll just use that stability money for years 2 and 3 to maintain parity for such important workers. It doesn't work. And I had hoped for more from the Labour government, and I do hope that the Chief Secretary will continue to engage in those discussions. Politically, I can see that there are a number of occasions whenever decisions are taken which feel like they are the right decisions at the time, but they are decisions that will not be easily forgotten by a jaded electorate. And the removal of the winter fuel payment is one of those. The decision on inheritance tax for family farms is another. Decisions that will rest long in the mind of constituents who place their trust in members opposite, who have joyfully brought forward all of the enthusiastic lines to take from their party. But those constituents will not forget the damage and the pain that will be caused by the decisions associated with this budget. Madam Deputy Speaker, I had hoped for more. I can't be churlish and not recognise the investment that is there in public finances, but it is not going to encourage us along a positive path. There are challenges ahead, and I think we collectively, politically, irrespective of your party outlook or difference, are going to have to engage in those more thoughtfully in the future.
Sarah Smith.